I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rockin'. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knockin'. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way, singing Gucci gang. Gucci gang, think I'm Gucci Mane. I'm just playing in the cut, I got my Vans on. I'm not selfish, I get on to put my mans on. Always greedy since the day I got my first ace. 5'7", but I'm 6'8" when I stand on the money pals. Need a money counter, I broke my thumb from thumbing down. Wifey on my line, she told me to dumb it down. Mama on my line, asking how I'm dumbing now. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's driving. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rockin'. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's not. Get out my way. I'm so unashamed, throw it to my veins. Like my 2K green or blue, I'm not into games. Focus on your player's face while I'm stacking change. We throw out what you got on your whole crew late. Every time I drop it, knock you make the screw face. I can't stand to be around people who are two-faced. I can't stand to do some business if you're too late. I beat the beat or defeated. I beat the beat or mistreated. I beat the odds deleted. On top, I'm ODing. No rock star with these leather pants, I'm ACDCing. When I die, I bet they love me, but hate me when I'm breathing. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, that's rockin'. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rockin'. When I link with ballpoint. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's driving. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rockin'. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knockin'. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's driving. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rockin'. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's not.
Welcome on this Friday afternoon. Welcome to Better Than Ever Live, wherever you're watching. I hope you're making today, make this weekend, make the whole holiday season your masterpiece. My name's Dr. David Geier, double board certified orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and media medical expert. I help you feel and perform your best regardless of age, injuries, or medical conditions. Very excited to be here. I know this has been sort of a disjointed week. Hey, Robert, how are you? It's been, going to Charlotte, not doing the show Tuesday, then doing it Wednesday, Thursday, sort of got me out of my rhythm, but I am glad to be back here with you because today it's Ask Dr. Geier. I'm going to leave it up to you. We can talk health and wellness topics and questions you have. We can talk about bone and joint injuries that you have or maybe a family member has. Whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about my Memphis Grizzlies, who set the NBA record last night. Largest margin of victory of all time in the NBA. They won by 73 points last night, playing mostly their backups, by the way, which was even more impressive. Very excited. So we can talk sports. We can talk college football and the conference championships. My Wake Forest Demon Deacons playing for the ACC championship tomorrow. We can talk NFL injuries or anything like that, or we can talk about your health and wellness, bone and joint injury questions. Remember, everything we talk about here, this is for general information and educational purposes only. I am not giving you specific medical advice. If you have specific medical questions or medical concerns, please talk to your doctor. Absolutely. I don't know if he's congratulating Memphis or congratulating Wake Forest. Both are a little unusual. Memphis is good. They're a playoff team, but our best player is injured, which is stunning that you can win by 73 with your potential all-star out with a knee injury. And then Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a small school in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. When I was there, it was only 3,800 students. It is really hard to win in football against schools that have enrollments of 50,000 people. You're not recruiting 12 players like basketball. You're recruiting 90 or something to play college football, and it's a different animal. Dave Clawson deserves all kinds of credit. All right, ask away. While you're doing that, somebody brought up a question recently, and I actually wasn't going to answer it on this show because I'm going to talk about this. Well, hell, I'll go ahead and tell you. So one of the things I've talked before recently that I would like to expand this show to daily. It's quite a time commitment, but I don't want to just do the summary of health and wellness studies and things. I love doing that, but I don't have enough material to do that 5 days a week. Yeah, I probably do, but that's not what I want to do. So one of the videos I'm going to introduce at the beginning of 2022, or at least early in January, I don't know if it'll be the first week, is a regular video called Modern Medicine Mondays. And that will not so much be focused on things like cortisone shots or things like that. We're going to talk about sort of the new and up and coming things, the experimental treatments, as the FDA likes to call things experimental and insurance companies likes to call them instrumental. We're going to talk about different peptides. We're going to talk about different recovery treatments and things like that can help you recover from injuries, perform better, just feel better and live longer. And I want to start talking about that. But somebody asked me just recently, locally, this was a question here, a discussion I had about using peptides for musculoskeletal health, musculoskeletal injury, helping to recover from injuries, and honestly just perform better muscle, less fat, faster, stronger, more powerful, things like that. And there are a number of peptides. So until you guys submit your questions, I'll talk about this for 5 minutes or so and then get back to your questions, because I'm actually doing a talk about this on, what day am I doing that? Tuesday of next week here locally, so that should be a lot of fun. And I'll talk about each of these peptides when we do those Modern Medicine Mondays. But peptides, for those of you that aren't familiar with the term, these are short chains of amino acids. They're made naturally in your body. There's thousands of them that we make. I think over 7,000 have been identified in our bodies, and they're made in all different parts of our bodies. They're involved in every single body function. They're signaling molecules or communication signals. What they do is they bind to the cell receptor on a membrane, cause a chemical reaction, and then go away. And because they're made synthetically in a lab. Yes, they're made naturally in your body, but now these labs have found ways to synthesize them, and they're very safe because they have a very, very short half-life, so they really have no side effects. The only peptide, at least that of the ones that I have either tried or my practice or my partners prescribed that seems to have side effects, is one that stimulates your melanocytes, the skin cells that put out your melanin to make you more tan. There's one that basically is a peptide that makes you more tan, but it seems to make people very nauseated. I have tried that and I hate it. The nausea is just way worse than any benefits in the tanning, so I have stopped taking it. But all of the ones for muscle and tendon and ligament healing and things like that seem to be extremely safe and good results. So just briefly, I'll get into more of these in more detail. But some of the things you might look into, if you want to go down a fun Google rabbit hole sometime or search engine rabbit hole, just search the term Wolverine stack. You guys remember Wolverine? He was the Marvel comic. I think it was a Marvel comic, but one of those comic book based characters. Hugh Jackman played him in the movie. And his superpower was that he could heal from any injury. It just, gunshots, knives, swords, didn't matter. He healed the injury right away. And I know it sounds crazy, but people have been looking for medicines, treatments, things that can make you heal like Wolverine, and we may be starting to get them. And so the reason I say you might go down the Google rabbit hole sometime looking for the term Wolverine stack is that That is it's a nickname that a doctor somewhere, I want to say in New York, but I don't know that for sure, gave to two peptides, BPC 157 and thymosin beta 4, or TB4. And if you Google Wolverine stack, you're going to end up with a lot of searches. Well, you'll get search results for the movie, but you're also going to get search results for you'll end up on these bodybuilding and powerlifting message boards, these chat rooms type of things. And what you'll see is the craziest thing ever. You'll see all these people talk about some shoulder injury or knee injury or back injury, and they saw doctors and all the treatments, the surgeries, whatever was prescribed, none of it was working. They kept hurting. They couldn't lift weights. They found some doctor that put them on the Wolverine stack, the BPC and TB4, and all of a sudden they were pain-free. They could lift all this weight, have no pain at all. I mean, the bodybuilders know this stuff well. So the Wolverine stack is what people call this, kind of ironic, if anything else. BPC 157 is a peptide that's made in our stomachs. It's found in gastric juice, and again, it can be synthesized in the lab, and it's involved in all kinds of body processes unrelated to musculoskeletal health. It's things like aging and allergies and your heart and insulin resistance. It's involved in ulcers and healing things with heartburn, leaky gut, diabetes, inflammatory conditions, inflammatory bowel syndrome, protects your nerves, even supposedly makes you younger. Specifically for musculoskeletal health, though, why I care about it is that it has a number of roles. It increases type 1 collagen, which is what our muscles are made of. Our tendons and ligaments are made of. So it helps muscles heal, helps nerves heal, helps tendons and ligaments heal. It also helps with healing of tendons in chronic conditions, tendinopathies, tennis elbow, Achilles tendonitis, things like that can be very, very helpful. It also is involved in the nitric oxide pathway. And if you know nitric oxide, that's a vasodilator. So it improves oxygen delivery to muscles, it improves oxygen exchange in the lungs, improving your athletic endurance, which can certainly be a good thing. So a number of different functions with BPC. TB4 is another one I think is really important for healing injuries. It's called thymosin beta 4. It's made in your thymus gland naturally. Again, can be synthesized. And thymosin beta 4, it's a potent antioxidant. It helps wound healing. It promotes the development of blood vessels at the site of injury. But for athletic performance, again, helps with muscle, tendon healing. Very, very good anti-inflammatory to reduce pain at the site of injury. So hopefully, you need less in terms of narcotics after an injury or surgery. But again, very, very good for tendon and ligament healing. Some of the other things that can be helpful, CJC 1295 with ipamorelin, which is a growth hormone releasing peptide. So you're not giving tons of external growth hormone, you're causing your pituitary to release the growth hormone it already makes. Good for athletic performance, building muscle, decreasing belly fat and the visceral fat, the hard fat around the organs. It helps slow wave sleep. I think that is probably its best use. It is amazing for that. And it supposedly is good for your skin tone. CJC 1295 is also good at sort of keeping your IGF-1 levels within a normal or fairly good range and not go sky high like you get with external growth hormone. But it is banned, like TB4, it's banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency. So if you're an Olympic athlete, it might not be the best thing for you. Some of the other ones, epithalon, which protects your telomeres, keeps your DNA healthy so that your tissues don't age and weaken as you get older. Couple more you might think about, MOD-SC, which is a mitochondrial derived peptide, the powerhouse of the cell, creates energy for the cells. It's been nicknamed exercise in a bottle. It activates the same cyclic AMP pathways that exercise does, targets the same thing, acts on those same pathways, in theory mimics the effects of exercise. So that's pretty exciting. And another one, 5-amino-1-MQ. It's an NMT blocker. And I don't know if you're familiar with NMMT, but it slows your metabolism as you get older. It slows your energy consumption as you get older. The dreaded dad bod. If you block NMMT, that is thought to increase your metabolism, increase your energy consumption, and has been touted as a potential cure for obesity, which would be huge in today's society. So I think all of those, there's a couple others maybe that I would mention, but that's where I would kind of start looking if you're talking about peptides to boost your athletic performance, heal from bone and joint injuries. The trick to that, though, is that these are pretty much all considered experimental by the FDA. So one, you have to get them from a doctor. You can't go online and get them because you need a prescription. Most of the time it's made in a doctor's lab. The doctor's office gives them out to you. And so if you try to go online, you're almost certainly going to get a product that actually has none of the peptides that are in it. Might have a lot of harmful fillers, but it doesn't have the BPC or TB4. So that is one thing. But again, insurance isn't going to pay for it because it's experimental, and the FDA is still looking into the pharmacological assessments, whatever that means. There's a lot of thought that the big pharmaceutical companies want to own these and sell them for hundreds of dollars at the big, CVS, Walgreens type of drugstores. So we'll see how all this goes, but those are things you might think about. All right, I don't have all that much in terms of questions today. I've got viewers, it looks like, on all the different platforms. Nobody has any questions today. And I am headed to the gym for my second workout of the day. So I am happy to end early today. Next week, we are here back on our regular schedule, Tuesday, Thursday. May or may not do this Ask Dr. Geier on Friday. And I definitely am not doing it the last 2 Fridays of the month. Looking at my schedule, that's just not going to be possible. But I will be here Tuesday and Thursday. We have a ton of stuff to talk about next week. I've already done my research and printed all the stuff out. I think I have 35 studies here. Hopefully talk about most of those. Some really interesting ones too. So that should be a lot of fun. I hope you have a great weekend. It's beautiful here in Charleston. It's in the low 70s or upper 60s. Really, really sunny. Gotta love that. I hope wherever you are, the weather is great. I hope you're staying safe from COVID and staying healthy and active and vibrant. Hope you get out there and exercise this weekend. And I will see you right back here